And
Talking about rust. Oh my goodness. Well, hello. How I've missed you guys so much. My lovely Sia. I've missed seeing your beautiful face every Saturday.
girl, it's been a while. It's been a hot, you know what though? This summer has just been just for so many different people for various reasons. It's just busy. I've been busy. Like, I haven't been home because I've been trying to limit my networking because I just need to do my work life balance kind of thing. But I've literally not been home more or less every weekend since August.
I
It's
you and I
crazy.
are right there. It just seems like that transition from summer into fall, it's always like we do this hiatus and we just yes, take a little balance and focus on the initial other projects that we got going on, but all I know is that I've been away from you guys for too long. I've missed everyone, but it's not, haven't been just chillaxing or relaxing. We've been doing a lot of stuff together in a collaborative manner, but also it's our own separate projects. And y'all know it will start at school as well. So the beginning of the school year is always hectic. But
Yeah, it is.
we are back and we're more than ever so excited to just to see everyone again, hear you in the comments and just read your comments, let us know where you're tuning in from, and what a special event, what a special way to come back. It's celebrating my roots, Hispanic Heritage Month. It's been going on full blown for what, almost 3 weeks now, and
Yeah, it
my
is.
God,
We're
so
heading into the final week, 10 days, final stretch, final stretch.
final stretch, guys, and it usually seems like they're just packed and cram all these different events in the last week. So please let us know what kind of events you've been going to support Hispanic Heritage Month. I know Sia is a huge advocate for the Latino community. Shout out to our beautiful friend Ari Medrano, and just her representing us, big.
You know what? I mean, literally, who'da thunk that I'd be a huge advocate both in Houston and in Dallas communities, right? And so, hey, Austin, let's not slouch in San Antonio. Let's not slouch. Actually, do I have any friends down in San Antonio? Maybe that's my problem. I need to make some friends down. You know what tells me? Road trip. Let's make
Yes.
some friends down in San Antonio.
Yes, the
So,
last time we were there is when we had the get together, right? Remember that
yeah,
huge get
Fredericksburg.
together?
Yes, good
But
times, good times. So beautiful. I know this is what we're grateful for, but you know what? We can keep talking, but I think we need to start the show.
absolutely. So let's run the intro, and then we'll get right into our special guest.
All right.
Welcome to the Influencers Connection Corner.
And dance and dance.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, there we go. I miss doing that, y'all. I miss having that little, beat, and I just hope it sets the vibe for a wonderful Saturday. I know we're normally having it an hour later than usual, but because this is such a special show, we've been doing so much again to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. So a huge shout out to the Hispanic community out here in Houston, in Texas, in the United States, and globally. So please let us know where you're tuning in, what country, Hispanic heritage country you're representing. We're always so, me, I'm always proud to represent my roots, El Salvador in the house, and everywhere I go, I carry it with me.
Um, Real quick, I have to make a comment.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, Raquel, it's not you, but Ari gave me my first pupusa experience. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I cheated on you, but I was hungry and Audie just happened to see this like TikTok or whatever of this one pupusa place here in Dallas, and it was just it was awesome, and it was I guess they became a bit of a local, like, they got popular because of this TikTok video, and the lady in the video was actually the lady who, I mean, she legitimately works that place, and she was a good tia to us. A good tia.
Oh, well, I am glad you've been baptized with the pupusa experience. It's so funny that you mentioned that, but as you know, pupusas are kind of the traditional and main dish of El Salvador, which is where I'm from. And it's funny though that you mentioned that, because Khalil Vincent, who is the founder of TechFest Live, which is the program that brought these ladies that we're going to interview today, also had his first experience with trying a pupusa not too long ago. It's actually last month
Oh, the see,
during the
see
Abilities
you.
Expo.
Spreading the love everywhere we go. Spreading the love everywhere we go. Okay, well, enough about pupusas because now I'm hungry and I'm sitting here
Yes.
talking to you. I'm just saying right now I'm gonna have to leave and probably get myself some.
No, but anyhow, food, culture, and music. We've always said that those aspects, and actually sports as well, unites cultures, brings people together. And another aspect that I really love about it is being able to share where our differences are from, our similarities. Most of the time, we have more similarities than differences when you sit across a table with someone. And this is no different than our guests of today, which are just phenomenal, stellar human beings, wonderful ladies, women representing the Latina power out there, and really carrying our flags in a way that has never been done before. So, without further ado, I will let them introduce themselves, tell them a little bit about their story, and we'll get into the topic, which is celebrating, right, Hispanic Heritage Month through action, through impact and advocacy. So, please welcome to the Influencers Connection Corner stage two amazing individuals representative of their own countries. We have Marcela Lemus, Guinea from El Salvador, representing Fusal, and also Miss Juliette Martínez from Honduras. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us this Saturday morning. And we are live, y'all. We are so lucky to have you here in our Houston community. This is the first time you ladies have been here to Houston, and I dare to say Texas, right? And so welcome. I know you all been here for about, what, 10 days now or so? No, not 10 days, a week.
Yeah,
About
almost.
10.
Oh, yeah, almost 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about, who you represent and a little bit about this program and how we all got connected so the audience knows a little bit more.
Okay, so hello everyone. Hello Raquel and our star producer. It's so amazing being here with you. Being in Houston for first time. My name is Juliette Martinez and I proudly represent my country, Honduras. Here you can see my flag. And well, I'm a young journalist and an attorney, which is really passionate for what she does. So I consider myself a change maker, and that's why we are here because we're learning so much from you people. As I mentioned, being here for first time and getting to know what Houston has to offer, not only about food and hanging out, but knowledge and so much things you're doing for entrepreneurs, for technology life. It has been an amazing 2 weeks in here. Thank you. Okay.
So happy to hear that, from your experience. And I know we'll start talking about the little experiences you've had during the days of going to different networking events and conferences. But Marcela, please let us know your thoughts.
Well, yeah, I'm Marcela and I'm from El Salvador. I have always lived there and I think I will live there because I absolutely love my country. And I'm a communication and digital marketing specialist. I work for a nonprofit and I also teach classes in a local university. I work for a local nonprofit in El Salvador. And I have always been passionate about giving voice to others through communication because I always mentioned that I was a child being a beneficiary from a program that her life was changed through a social program. So when I was in my college era, I was like, no, I need to work in a nonprofit so I can give the voice to others. And I've been doing that for over 9 years in the nonprofit I work, almost most the 10 years working in communication. And I'm excited about everything that I've been seeing around here. It was like one of the bucket lists professionally that I wanted to do, like go to the States and see how companies, nonprofits, and everyone here works so we can understand how we share similarities and how can we bring all that knowledge back to El Salvador. So I've been very excited to be here.
Oh my goodness. Well, let me tell you that, it goes both ways in the sense of we're learning from one another. And for us with TechFest Live and just in general who work with nonprofits or in the nonprofit realm, we really love learning from a global perspective, learning from young entrepreneurs, young individuals who are leading in their own respective countries, being able to just learn different perspectives. It really adds to our own, I would say, journey, to our own wealth of wisdom. And it's been amazing learning from you all these last literally 2 weeks. And I know we only have a week left to go, but we're going to make it the best and learn so much more. What has been, I would say, kind of like the highlights so far of what you've experienced on a personal level, as a traveling, I would say as a visitor, and then also as a professional. And then we can start with Juliette.
Sure. Well, what has gotten me astonished here in Houston, Texas, is that, well, when I was coming here, I was expecting, to see other type of vibes. But when I came and we were attending so many events, because literally we have been even in 2 or 3 events per day, and making this networking, getting to know people that are so intelligent, that are rock and rolling it in their areas. I mean, we have learned from people that are investors, that are people in the area of technology, that are, innovating every single day, and very young people. It's like, wow. Getting this conversation with them has inspired us a lot. And in my personal case, I work with a nonprofit too. Well, I'm the founder of a nonprofit organization over there in Honduras, in my city, that it is called Comayagua. So the name of the nonprofit is the Junior Chamber International, or the JCI. So the thing is, we're working with the United Nations, a lot of projects related, to education, to women empowerment, to economical growth. And we have been working on several projects and programs with entrepreneurs. But over there in Honduras, reality, or the real life, is just so different than what it is here in Houston. Probably the opportunities you're having here, that dynamic of the flow of the money and all that stuff, it's quite different. So I'm just wondering, what if I take great ideas that I have learned in here over there, and make, alliances with the government, with the local government there in Comayagua, and also with big companies that are already set, that are already working in what they are working. And what if we give power to the little entrepreneurs that are having ideas, that probably you see little ideas, but what if we can develop them in the right way? They can become great leaders. They can become great companies, giving employment, so that people have better lives. So what got me astonished here in Houston is that the set of mind you have, like the yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
instead
Yeah.
of like, you want to be better every single day. And I think that over there in Honduras, we need to get this set of mind too, like developing every single day, learning more, and networking. I think networking is a key of a lot of things, of great
Yeah.
alliances that you can create.
Well, let me tell you, I know that you guys have been on a networking on steroids kind of experience, because it is like you mentioned, it's like three different events per day, and you've kept up. But that's not how it usually goes. But right now, because it's Hispanic Heritage Month, luckily, you came at a time where it is really busy. But besides that, Houston does have a lot to offer when it comes, to any industry that we're speaking to. But in this specific regard, in the program that you guys are with, is a fellowship. It's in with technology and innovation. And so let's talk a little bit about that aspect, because this is a program that, through the Department of Education, United States Department of Education, so, they work with the Institute for Training and Development. So tell us a little bit about that program, how you guys found out about it, and we're going to put it in the chat as well.
Well, I'm always on social media. I'm a chronicle social media user, even though I don't produce that much content, which is ironic that I'm a digital marketing specialist who doesn't post content. But I was scrolling one day in social media and I found that opportunity. And since I was very young, I knew that somehow I needed to make an exchange program in the States. I tried when I was in college. I tried to come to a program here in the States, like in exchange program, but it didn't happen. So I was a very frustrated 20 years old girl back then. And I saw that opportunity on LinkedIn and I was like, I think I will try. I I don't have anything to lose. So I sent my application. I was like a little bit worried about participating because it's focused a lot on economic empowerment. And I work in social media and communication, but I was thinking, I mean, social media and communications can give a lot of economic empowerment to communities, so why not try it? I mean, it's the new thing. Everyone needs to be on social media speaking. All the companies and all organizations need to be there. So I was like, I will try. I sent my application, and it was like very excited when they called me like, hey, do you want to come to an interview? And I was like, okay. And I had the interview and I was like, oh my God, I think they see potential in me. And once they told me like, hey, you're going, I was like, oh my God. It was not in my plans to come to the States for the next years. So I was like, I'm going to the States. I don't even have like, it wasn't even in my mind to come. So I was very excited about how everything was going on. They told us like, you're coming to Massachusetts, and I'm like, I always wanted to go to Massachusetts. We were there for a couple of days, learning a lot, getting a lot of classes that were so interesting. And then they took us to New York, which was another thing that I had never imagined that I would do in my life. So I was like, wow. And then when we came to Houston, it was a completely shocking experience to me because I come from a background where these things doesn't happen to kids like me. I was like, wow, I made it. So it was really exciting then. And I think the program has chose really talented people because it's from all over Central America, from Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, El Salvador. And not only you have met people from the States, but we have made really close relationships with people from our countries. Like, for example, I will never met Juliette if it wasn't from this program. Or my girls from Guatemala that are still in Massachusetts, I would have never met them and know that there's so much potential and there's people like me that are working really hard to their dreams, to their communities, and we're not alone in our country. Sometimes we might think, oh my God, I'm just the one that is trying, but there is a lot of people that are similar like you, and this program has gave me that chance to meet people that are so professional and that I admire so much, not only here in the States, but from our countries too. So I think that's very impactful for me.
Yes, and thank you for mentioning that it is not just from El Salvador and Honduras. It's actually from Mexico and the other countries in Central America as well. And I've had the pleasure of meeting two others who are also here with us in Houston, but they are joining from a separate groups that are not TechFest Live. It's through Invincible, and shout out Jesse Martínez. He's also been doing an amazing job at just including everyone, like all the fellows that are here right now, and all the things that are going on with the Hispanic Heritage Month and Tejano Tech, the fest, right? It's been just wonderful. And so we're just been going through different events, and then also the city of Houston. Shout out to Council Member Joaquin Martinez. Thank you so much for opening the doors for all the amazing fellows who are here experiencing Houston from a different perspective. Yes, a touristy visitor perspective, but also an innovative and impactful way of how we can cross-pollinate and collaborate together to make it better for ourselves here and also, back in their respective countries. And so that to me is always very special, right? It's everywhere you go, you want to be able to express and share your culture. But at the same time, when you go back home, you want to be able to impart some wisdom of what you learn in your ventures and all of this. And I know that you've met some key folks like Jesse Martinez. And what is one of those aspects when it comes to innovation about Houston that you're taking with you?
Oh, I would say definitely these networking events. I mean, when I came to the first one, it was a cup of joy over there in the Ion. I was like, oh my God. We were talking with people from different sides of the world, like different countries, people from America, people from Asia, people from Africa, people from Europe. I mean, it was just so shocking because getting to know a lot of people here in the States that come from different parts of the world, but are here in Houston located because they are owners of businesses, because they are investors, because they are scientists. I was like, oh my God, the world is just so big, so different, so and everyone can give something to society. I will definitely will start a cup of leaders over there. I don't know
Yes.
how we're going to call it, but trust me, and it's a promise I'm doing here right now in front of you, that I will take these networking events because we can make a lot of friends, and probably that friend that you knew that random day, now it's gonna be your partner of your life in businesses, in crazy stuff coming up that will change the world. Why not thinking in looking more than what your noses or your eyes can see? It's amazing. So I'm definitely taking this type of events, and also, we were attending this Texas Fest that it was organized by Jesse, and
Yes.
we were having amazing panelists doing with topics about sports, about women empowerment, about how to grow your businesses, about artificial intelligence. I was like, a lot of topics that can change the world, that can change your life, because for changing the world first you need to change your mind, change your thoughts. And I'm definitely taking these practices you do here in Houston back to Honduras, to Comayagua, and in some months, in some years, I will be telling you the success it will have, because I certainly know it will have.
Well, I sure hope you invite us once your, program over there is grown. We would love to go have a cup of, whatever it is that you're going to call it. But, having said that, huge shout out to Joey and Cup of Joey and everyone who really, there's like so many different around the city. But Adrian Liel is one of them. He's like my brother. From another mother is I love him and everything that he does. You ladies have had an opportunity to meet him and just how impactful he is. Another of the events you guys went to was Houston Millennials with Alan. So thank you so much for that opportunity as well, Alan, to just give you all that chance to see how networking is done at a different level here. But yes, it's for me, it was speaking of exchanging ideas and all that, the networking for me has always been important, and that's why I built in such a platform as LinkedIn. I built my community and everything that I do surrounding this platform. But it was interesting for me to hear that in Honduras and possibly in El Salvador, their networking is really not that ingrained, or perhaps being on LinkedIn actively, Marcela, like you mentioned, may be viewed as, oh, you're probably like shopping around for another job or something. Can you all start telling what can we do to start changing these different, notions when we go back home?
Yeah. I think when we think about social media, sometimes you have to think like it's not just to look for something, but to give something too. Because I see social media in that way. And for example, in my work, I always try to tell them to give the voice to the main focus of organization. Like I go with programs manager and tell them, oh, I wrote this blog for you. Please post it in your personal account, not in our company account, because you are the one that community see, that the government see, that newspapers, that media see, and we want you to be identified like he's an expert, he knows what he's doing, and if you're not posting it, no one will know. So in our countries, I think in my country, in El Salvador, it's kind of hard to manage the LinkedIn. Not everyone has LinkedIn. When you say that you have LinkedIn, many people associate that to have looking that you're searching for a job, when sometimes you're just displaying your talents and how you can help others, and you can get really good opportunities too. I mean, it, and not necessarily job opportunities because I came to the fellowship because I was on LinkedIn one day. And also when I teach digital marketing classes, and I always tell my students that you need to put a lot of effort on LinkedIn. And if you have a company page, you can also shout out your employees there, because we usually, when someone is in their job anniversary, we put a little post like, thank you for your service, thank you for working for us for all these X amount of years for working for us. And I think that makes people like feel, oh my god, I'm being recognized and my job is appreciated. And that's how you have to do. Like, I have a tradition that every single year that I turn like 9 years or 10 years in my work, I put a little message, and I put myself in the places that I love the most, like in the rural communities. I'm like, thank you for giving me this opportunity, thank you for giving me the job of my dreams. And you can do that too. You can go to the communities and you can post that, because we tend to post only the glamorous things. I always try to post on LinkedIn the hardest things that I do. Like, I'm on the on the field walking around cornfields with my camera. I like to post that in my anniversary, because people see me like in the vans, all glam, but for me that's just like the tiniest thing ever. Like, to me it's like I'm going to all the schools in rural communities 5 hours away from my house, and I'm the happiest. And you can share
Yeah.
that, and you can share those skills. And I always tell that you have to talk about it. If you're an expert in early childhood or humanitarian aid, you have to post that. I don't have to post it in our company's page. You have to post it in your page, so people can recognize you and say, oh, he's an expert, and we can trust
Yes.
them.
Yeah, and so that people can have a little background, the audience know you work for one of the largest and long-standing nonprofits in El Salvador, FUSAL. Tell them a little bit about the nonprofit and what you do, the type of work you do.
Yeah, sure. So I work in FUSAL, which is a big nonprofit in El Salvador. Next year, FUSAL turns 40 years, so it's a whole journey. I always wanted to work in a nonprofit like that, because the work that FUSAL do is very like holistic. We don't just bring help, because we have a humanitarian aid program that brings a lot of humanitarian aid to El Salvador from the States. Like, we bring really important donations from the United States to El Salvador. But there are also programs like early childhood, which is something that really connects with me, how you can impact rural communities and children, pregnant mothers in their first 1,000 days, like how you can improve a child since the conception until he's 4 years old and he's ready to kindergarten. We also do a lot of work in schools with uh, very quality education, bringing that to local vulnerable schools. And there's another program that it's called local development, that we go to communities and bring them all the holistic things like health, education, early childhood stimulation, nutrition. And that really connected with me. When I found out about that opportunity, I started only helping the humanitarian aid program, like writing reports for donors. And then I suddenly started learning more. Like, they were like, do you want to help us with PR, with public relations? I'm like, yeah, sure, I can help. Then there was like, do you want to manage the social media? And I'm like, yeah. And back then, when I started working there, we only had Twitter and Facebook. And I love social media. So I was like, we should do an Instagram. We should do an LinkedIn. We should try TikTok. And I think one of the things that made me the most proud is that I took LinkedIn to from 0 to 20,000 followers. And I'm like, oh my God, I did that.
Yay! So you and I speak that same language when it comes to the love we have for LinkedIn. Yes.
And I've been working there for over 9 years now. So I started before I graduated. I was 22 years old. And I've been through I have met almost all El Salvador thanks to my job, and the real El Salvador, like the communities, the schools, where the kids are. That's the real El Salvador for me. And I always say that Fusal gave me the chance to meet the real El Salvador, and that has really connected with me. I go to schools, I take pictures, I listen, I interview beneficiaries. I have talked with probably hundreds of people, from mothers, from patients in hospitals that are needing a critical treatment, to big positions in another nonprofit. So it's been a really big journey, and I think it has shaped the way I see the world now. And it's that's why I always say it's the job of my dreams, because I do a lot of things and different things in different spaces in El Salvador.
Oh, I love that. And just because, thank you for sharing a little, a little part. As anywhere that I go to, I love sharing the differences and what we see and what we don't, right, in our countries. But this is from what I remember, from what I recall when I was there. And earlier I also mentioned about how our countries are also similar. And I know in your case, Juliette, you do share some similarities of what the experiences that Marcela is mentioning. However, there are other differences as well. Would you mind sharing a little bit about those?
Oh, sure. Well, oh my God, that's a long
It
story.
is. It is. I know. We could have hours of this conversation, and we've had. So,
It is a long story. Well, back then I studied to become a journalist, and I share with you girls, and that's why I don't know. We got so connected since the first talk, since the first word, because we shared the love for other people. We share the love of helping others. So back then I started studying journalism so I can connect with other young people, to rise them up, to give them voices too, like Marcela mentioned. Um, Probably not in the same way, but like getting to know their problems, getting to know what do young people need to become better persons. So I studied also for being an attorney. We fight for the rights of people, we fight for good causes, and it's amazing how we can connect both professions and make Comayagua better, make Honduras better. And then I had the opportunity to start my political career. So I was one of the youngest, for not saying the youngest, person ever run as a congresswoman in Comayagua, Honduras. Back then, when I started my political career, I was just 20 years old. And well, I had also the opportunity, like Marcela mentioned, to know the communities, to go and talk with people, because I don't want to say this, but it's something that Latin America needs to change, and it's the set of mind of going to the power positions just to give yourself and your family all the power and all the money that any country has. So I think that's why we are not a very, very developed countries, because the people that is in the powerful positions are not willing to fight for other people, just for themselves. And I think we need to be the change that we want, because it's easy to be here just looking in my social media and saying, oh, I don't like this, or my country, I will go out. No, it's not just saying that. It's what are you doing to change your reality? So I started my political career as a very, very young lady. And because I believe in myself, because I believe Honduras can be better than what it is. So I started, with not so much money, because I was a very young woman, but I started my career and we went to so much places. We won the love of so much places that deposited their votes for us, and they trusted in youth. So I was working back then also with the government. I worked with the government of Honduras for 5 years, and we were over there working a lot with them, and doing what we got to do. Oh, there's a photo of us. I love that.
no, yeah, I was gonna share. Like, we wanted just to kind of like story tell and give background of this, the type of things that we've been doing. Not to cut you short, but yeah, like for example, this was your first time having Chick-fil-A, and I know that that was on your list. You guys have a list of
I had a list of restaurants that I had to try that my boyfriend wrote down for me.
and it was such a wonderful experience just to see you all, right, try this for the first time. And I love Chick-fil-A. I love it. It's like one of the best here.
We
And
love
then this particular one that we went to, it was Astros were playing that night, so they were, you guys were able to experience the entire love that we have for the sport here in Houston and for our Astros. So we even got some souvenir cups given at Chick-fil-A. So wanted to give a shout out to Becky Chin, who is the owner of that specific location, and we just had so much fun that night, and I like to think that you guys had a lot of fun too.
Oh,
So
we did have a lot of.
We have been very excited to be here and everyone that we're meeting, and even the relationships that we are forming here with everyone from TechFest Live, the organization that it's our host, from our fellows that we're here, and we are four of us, and I think we have managed to have really deep conversations, have fun together, and also with the other fellows that are in Massachusetts. We're calling them, how are you doing? We share how our weather is fabulous here because we all time have sun
Sunny.
and it's warm, so we always like bragging about that. So we're very excited, and we're forming really good relationships, friendships, and alliances too that we can bring back to our communities.
yes, and I was going to ask, I was curious as to the selection process of y'all were placed, or did y'all choose the nonprofit you wanted to work with, etc., or they just like randomly assign through the program?
I don't know if you want to answer that.
No, I think when you start your application, you mention what kind of things you want to learn and what are your expectations about a host that will receive you here in the States. And for example, to me, it was like I want to learn a lot about how relationship works, because I know that to get funds for a nonprofit, you need to talk about your nonprofits and you need to make relationships. And if you don't do that, you don't get. And as I am a very shy person, which is another ironic thing, that that I'm a communicator and I'm shy and I do digital marketing and I don't post. So it's another thing that I was like, no, I want to learn how people connect, how people talks to others. And you put that in your application. You say, no, I want this, and this is the things that I expect to learn. When you go to the interview, you also say that, like, these are the things that you want. And then they ask you, when you are already selected, they ask you, and what do you want, and you tell the same thing. So after all that big process, they assign us to TechFest Live here in Houston. And I remember when they assigned me, the first thing I did was Google you so I can see your website and see what you guys are doing here in Houston. And it really connected with me because I saw how you work with middle school kids, with children, and how you expose them to technology, to STEM, to careers. And I was like, man, that really resonates with me, because I was a child that was introduced to something and her life changed. So I understood how you guys are making an impact for vulnerable children here in Houston.
And well, let me tell you, on behalf of TechFest Live, we are so honored to have you on board. And ever since like the first day that we learned who the fellows were that were assigned to us, we've been pretty excited. I was elated just because I'm like, Latina women, yes, let's go. We have two powerhouses. And so for me, it's been a whirlwind, just learning, your experiences, learning what life could have been, right? For me, and I share it on a personal level, right? Marcela, you and I have had this conversation for hours, oh my God, of how life has been for you as a woman growing up in El Salvador and having a different mindset, a progressive, a more open mentality, a more inclusive mentality, how my life would have been should I have grown up in El Salvador. So it's just, it's very heartwarming. And at the same time, it really does open up a lot of more opportunities for us to continue educating, so to continue giving back and learning ways how we can come together and just empower people and communities. That to me, again, it's the most important aspect that really brings all of us together, is how do we come together and help, that deep desire. And so I know Sia has other pictures to show as we talk about your whereabouts and what you've experienced for the first time. I know for the first time you also had Whataburger, which is my favorite.
we like.
favorite burger here in Texas. So, what did y'all think of that one?
Oh, Whataburger. We really liked it. I mean, the taste, the flavor, it was really good. There were a lot of friends of us. Well, in my case, a lot of my friends that have been here in Houston, Texas, like, you gotta try the Whataburger.
Yeah.
I'm like, they have talked to me about it. So I have a lot of expectations. And let me tell you, it accomplished the expectations we had. Like, very good. Amazing food in here in Texas.
Yes, well, I think Houston is such a huge we're such a huge foodie town, and I know you guys have also had the opportunity to check out Chef Lina's food from Lina's Asian Kitchen.
Amazing.
Thank you, Chef, for feeding our fellows while they're here.
Such a delicious food.
And a healthy food.
And
I
healthy
need
food.
to highlight that. It's
Yeah.
not just delicious food, but it is healthy, very healthy food. We're having like chicken and shrimps and rice and
Yeah.
vegetables. We were needing that.
We needed the vegetables. I was telling that I need my veggies. I need my veggies. Yeah, and we were very excited. We did our little unboxing and we were like, oh
Yes. By the way, go and follow Chef Lina's, please. If you can post her LinkedIn account there, because it was amazing, and I
Yeah.
think people should try it.
Yeah, trust me. I'm on that. Everyone should definitely try the her cooking. But I'm so glad you guys have been able to experience some of the flavor that Houston has, and some of the just the different entrepreneurs, right? That the just the ecosystem helps and supports, but not only just as a business from a business standpoint. As y'all know, she also has a nonprofit, so that is another binding aspect of how I got involved with her and her being on the show. But just what she does for the community, how she gives back, and that's another way that all of us, we are intertwined. But besides that, you guys have gone to other places as well. Like, for example, this is a cup of Joey, the very first cup of Joey that you all enjoyed, and happened to be earlier this week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So,
Right.
for example, that amazing picture there, you can see bright minds. Like, wow. And there's our beautiful Raquel. By the way, Raquel, I want to say thank you here that all of these people is connected in the live. Thank you, because you have been an amazing host. I know people already know that Raquel is so lovely, so cheerful, but she has been like our mom. She
Yeah.
has been taking us to amazing places to try amazing food, even shopping.
Yeah.
So we want to say thank you, because Salvadoran hearts are amazing. Here is my friend Marcela. We didn't know each other, but now we cannot.
We're like planning
Yeah.
where we're going to see each other.
We're always together. We're planning to see ourselves in the border over there.
Between El Salvador and Honduras. Like, see you
No,
there.
thank you so much. You have been amazing. There are no words to say thank you, like what our hearts are meaning, but thank you.
Aw, y'all gonna make me cry. Oh my God. No, I'm not a crier. I'm not a crier. See, always says this. She cries at anything.
We
But
are criers too.
She's a crier. She's a
it's
crier.
you hear her, she's
The four of us together right now.
yes, she's like, yeah, she's a crier. She'll cry at a fly flying across the room, and I'm like, look.
No,
I
your
just
heart is big. Keep it in that
oh
way, because life will give you so many amazing things that probably you haven't even think about it. Because when you bright, so shiny, well, God, God will give you your blessings in the perfect moment, because you are amazing.
Oh, thank you so much for those words and everything that we're doing as a collective. Because it does take a team. It's for the collective of the group, for the benefit of the group. How are we, like, again, I say, coming together to impact? And I know that your stay here, the opportunities that you are having, may be once in a lifetime. And so the way that I could help is have you all feel safe, enjoy, right, and learn, be in an environment where you are able to soak up all the information that you can, meet strategic individuals who can further your career, can connect you to the right person in order to be able to impact. Because we all want to give back to El Salvador, we all want to give back to Honduras, we all want to give back to the world. And I think as women leaders who are really making noise back at home in our different ways. We are positioned in a very, and I will say we're in a very good position to be able to make changes. And so I just want to encourage you as super women, like, I want to know, what is your superpower? Like, what do you think each of you, your superpower is?
Oh, that's a very good
Yeah.
question. In my case, I would say, well, I have three superpowers.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. One is my leadership, the other is my empathy, and the other one is having big heart. Those are my three superpowers.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
empathy. I'm always trying to put myself in the shoes of others, and that has given me a lot of opportunities to understand. Even when you're gonna take a picture, sometimes I teach people how do you can take pictures for someone in vulnerable position. I'm like, put yourself in their shoes. How would you feel if a stranger came to your house and go and take a picture of you? Because I think a big part of my empathy comes because I was a beneficiary and I was being taken pictures when I was a child. So I'm like, empathy is key, and I think I always say that I'm a big empath, and I try a lot to serve others in a ways that I can. Like, do you want me to help you in something? Do you want me to do something for you? How can I help you, and how I can make your life easier, or even just ease something that you're doing? How can I do it? So I think those are my two superpowers.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I know because we are in Hispanic Heritage Month, celebratory spirits, we have to throw in a little Spanish, okay? Para la audiencia latina,
Claro que sí.
no solamente en inglés. So we're going to momentarily switch to Spanish just so that we can actually also capture this, the moment, right, that we're sharing together as women and coming together to celebrate our roots. And so if you want to learn a little Espanol, so stick around definitely. And I know we only have a few minutes to go, but hermosas, muchísimas gracias por estar aquí hoy, esta mañana. No tengo ni palabras para de verdad describir los momentos que hemos vivido juntas, las historias que hemos compartido. Siento que esto es un momento muy fundamental para entablar una colaboración a largo plazo, de distintas formas. Dígame cómo se siente, cómo se ha sentido hasta este momento.
Bueno, en mi caso me he sentido muy bien recibida, he sentido realmente el calor latino, bueno, no solo el calor literal, porque sí hace calor aquí, pero ese calorcito humano, creo que ha sido muy bonito todo lo que hemos aprendido. Khalil ha sido increíble también en TechFest Live, que le mandamos un saludo por ahí a Khalil. Nos hemos sentido también comprendidas de muchas formas, de la manera profesional, porque se nos han brindado las herramientas, porque pues si tu host de repente no está dispuesto a llevarte a los lugares, a presentarte a las personas, creo que no venimos a una experiencia enriquecedora, pero ha sido todo lo que esperábamos tener, esa ayuda, ese apoyo de ustedes. De igual manera cuentan con el apoyo de nosotras, de tantos backgrounds que tenemos, ¿no? Y pues que en Honduras definitivamente estamos listos, con las puertas abiertas para crear estas alianzas que pueden impactar en vidas, porque ya lo decíamos acá, pues de repente te beneficiaste de algo y de repente ¿qué podemos sacar de ese algo? ¿Cómo podemos cambiar vida de otras personas también? Entonces, definitivamente hemos aprendido muchísimo y creo que las prácticas que se dan acá en Houston son muy innovadoras, los tipos de eventos, los Space Makers, no hemos hablado de los Space Makers, y para mí visité Space Makers en Massachusetts, en Nueva York y en Houston, y puedo decir que mi favorito fue el de Houston. Lo que hacen aquí es una cosa increíble, porque pues en Honduras no tenemos como tal Space Makers. De repente sí hay como escuelas, talleres o cosas así, pero se puede llevar a otro nivel, claro que se puede, y creo que creando las alianzas, vuelvo y repito, con gobierno central, con gobierno local, con grandes compañías, con empresa privada, wow, podemos hacer cosas grandes. Entonces llevamos todo la disponibilidad de llegar a nuestro país y ejecutar nuestros proyectos, porque no estamos aquí solo de vacaciones, venimos aquí a implementar un proyecto. bueno, a diseñar un proyecto, mejor dicho, para poder implementarlo en nuestras naciones. Entonces, este tiempo acá no ha sido de turistas para nada, ha sido de mucho trabajo. Han sido noches que nos ha tocado estar hasta las 3 de la mañana trabajando, pero es ese compromiso que tenés con tu país, ¿no?
Claro, claro. Pues como dices, Julieta, es importante, ¿verdad? Porque nuestras historias cargan mucho, digo yo, mucho peso en el sentido de que cómo nosotros queremos regresar todo lo que ese país nos ha dado. Y yo sé que este es el sentimiento que tú sientes, Marcela, de acuerdo a tu historia, ¿no? Te abriste muy bien, muy lindamente conmigo y muchas gracias por la confianza. Pero creo que eres una historia de esas que es a la realidad, ¿no? Y ahora estás ejerciendo lo que de verdad tu corazón siempre te ha dicho y que ha dictado. ¿Nos puedes contar un poquito más de esa historia?
Sí, no, cuando yo tenía 13 años, bueno, yo vivo en Santa Ana, que es una ciudad en el occidente de El Salvador. Es una ciudad más o menos grande, o sea, no se compara con esta ciudad. O sea, en El Salvador es una ciudad, pero es un pueblo. Es un pueblo. Entonces yo vivía allá con mis papás, mi mamá, ama de casa, mi papá con un negocio propio y con ese nos sacaba adelante, pero obviamente con 3 hijos y yo siendo la menor. Y ya cuando yo iba a ir a la universidad, pues fue como, ya mis hermanos habían ido a universidades privadas gracias al trabajo de mi papá, pero iba a ser bien difícil que yo fuera a una universidad privada. Entonces, cuando yo tenía 13 años, tuve una gran oportunidad. Yo siempre era de meterme a todas las oportunidades. Si había certámenes de ortografía, yo me metía. Si había certámenes de oratoria, yo iba. Entonces, tuve la oportunidad de participar en un programa en el 2007. Yo tenía 13 años, que se llamaba Escuela de Jóvenes Talentos en Letras. Entonces, agrupaba a todos los niños de El Salvador, de comunidades vulnerables, de escuelas públicas, que eran muy, muy buenos en literatura, en ortografía, en comunicaciones. Entonces, me dijeron a mí, ¿quieres participar? Y pasé un montón de pruebas y logré ir. Iba todos los sábados y un gran gracias a mi mamá, porque todos los sábados me llevaba de Santa Ana a San Salvador y allí yo recibía clases de 9 de la mañana a 3 de la tarde todos mis sábados, de los 13 años a los 18, todos mis sábados invertidos en eso. Y era un programa muy intenso, o sea, yo tenía que llevar muy buenas notas en mi escuela pública, tenía que llevar muy buenas notas allí, tenía que hacer mis tareas de la escuela pública y mis tareas de ahí, eran tareas muy intensas, o sea, yo bromeaba con ellos y con Cineria, que conocimos acá, Cineria en Houston, yo les mencionaba todos los libros que había leído, porque era como 2 libros a la semana, 3 libros a la semana. Para una niña de 14 años estar leyendo 2, 3 libros a la semana, yo me abrazo y me digo, wow, o sea, de verdad que me felicito. Entonces, ese programa a mí me daba esas clases y cuando ya iba a terminar mi bachillerato, el high school, me dijeron, te vamos a dar una beca completa en la universidad y tuve la oportunidad de estudiar en una universidad privada en San Salvador sin pagar nada, todo gratis y poder sacar una carrera y fue como que, wow, eso me abrió un montón de puertas porque ya estaba en la capital y ahí fue donde yo dije, sí, quiero estudiar comunicaciones, pero no quiero trabajar para una marca, no quiero trabajar en ventas, no quiero trabajar en una organización para vender, sino que yo quiero dar de regreso lo que yo recibí. Y fue que ahí empecé a buscar el mundo humanitario y fue que ya logré entrar en la empresa, en la organización que trabajo, en FUSAL. Y eso ha cambiado mi vida porque a veces pienso, o sea, pude haber tal vez estudiado a un técnico o algo sencillo, pero pude ir a la universidad, pude obtener una carrera en San Salvador y pude cambiar no solo mi vida, sino que también la de mi familia, porque si bien es cierto, mis hermanos tuvieron la suerte, trabajaron, pero también yo he podido devolverles a mis papás todo, o sea, mis papás los dos retirados, ellos en su mejor vida de retirados en su casa, descansando, y saber que yo les puedo dar lo que ellos deseen porque ellos me ayudaron a mí, ha sido genial. Entonces, eso es lo que a mí me motivaba y yo a veces platico con mis compañeras de trabajo cuando estamos diseñando diplomas para los niños o que vamos a ir a tomar fotos y hablamos como que, hey, incluso dar un diploma que por más sencillo en el día a día que uno lo vea de estar diseñando, uno aprecia esos diplomas porque yo tengo todos mis diplomas de cuando estaba chiquita y que iba y yo los recuerdo con mucho cariño. Entonces, eso ha sido lo que a mí me ha motivado bastante y por eso yo siempre digo, o sea, yo soy uno de esos niños beneficiarios que logró cambiar su vida y nunca sabes si de los niños y todos mis amigos de esa época de la escuela de jóvenes talentos en letras, todos también cambiaron su vida, gente que vivía en comunidades rurales, su vida cambiada. Uno de mis mejores amigos incluso vive aquí en Houston y él también era de esos niños. Entonces es increíble todo lo que un programa puede hacer y cuando pones el esfuerzo en los niños puedes cambiar muchas vidas, no solo la de ellos, sino que la de su familia también.
Qué lindas palabras, Marcela. Y creo que mi cámara no sé, se desenfocó, no sé qué le pasó y estoy tratando de arreglarla, pero bueno, ahí me van a ver todas fácil. No, las lindas palabras que dijiste, Marcela, para mí es muy importante porque se enfocan en torno a la juventud y nosotras creo que es una de las pasiones que tenemos las tres, que queremos hacer el mayor impacto en lo que tenga que ver la juventud, porque nuestra juventud es literalmente el futuro del mundo, de las generaciones que están por venir y siento de que el trabajo que independientemente estamos haciendo las tres influye mucho, ya sea por medio de FUSAL, ya sea por medio de JCI, ¿verdad? Es así como se dice, y por medio de TechFest Live. Es por eso de que nosotras seguimos esforzándonos para hacer la diferencia e impactar. Siento que estamos haciendo esa meta, lo estamos logrando. Pero si pueden dejar a la audiencia con un mensaje, me encantaría que les dejaran un mensaje, ya sea un consejo o como una alerta o algo, un momento de acción, que tomen cartas sobre el asunto, ¿no? ¿Qué dirías tú, Julieta?
Ay, bueno, el tiempo en televisión pasa rápido, ¿no? Yo el mensaje que le daría a todas las personas que nos están viendo, ya sean jóvenes, mujeres, adultos, hasta niños, que crean en sus sueños, que crean en su potencial, que si vas a hacer algo, pues que lo hagas como que fuera para Dios, de una manera excelente, de una manera para honrar. No hay nada imposible, como dicen, el cielo es el límite. No, yo creo que ni el cielo es el límite. El límite no existe cuando de verdad crees en tus ideales, cuando encontrás tu propósito de vida. Creo que podés mover naciones, creo que podés impactar en el mundo. Como dice, una golondrina no hace verano, pero creo que si todos nos uniéramos, si fuéramos golondrinas, si nos uniéramos por causas buenas, bonitas, que van más allá de lo superficial, el mundo sería mejor. Creo que no hubiese corrupción, no hubiese falta de oportunidades, las personas no tuvieran que abandonar sus países o sus raíces o quienes son para buscar nuevos rumbos. Creo que el cambio podemos hacerlo todos, creo que el cambio podemos hacerlo juntos. Entonces, básicamente yo les diría a las personas que nos están viendo, encuentren su propósito, encuentren qué es su inspiración, qué los mueve y trabajen fuerte por ello, porque Dios nos da tantos talentos que hay que aprovecharlos, hay que explotarlos y pues que estamos aquí con un propósito y hay que cumplirlo, ¿no?
Qué lindas palabras. ¿Y Marcela?
Sí, yo creo que ella dijo todo lo que yo, pero yo lo que les diría es a los niños que sean curiosos, cuando uno es niño y es curioso, le va bien. Y también ser empáticos y tratar de ver más allá de la burbuja en la que tú vives. Y a veces nos sentimos muy cómodos en la burbuja en la que estamos en nuestro día a día y tomamos por sentado todas las cosas que tenemos, cuando no sabemos que hay gente que agradecería mucho estar en la posición en la que estamos o que a veces se nos olvida todo por lo que hemos trabajado y que ya lo tenemos y no vemos hacia atrás todo el camino que hemos tomado. Entonces, es ser bien agradecidos y salir bastante de nuestra burbuja, hablar con todo tipo de gente, no solo limitarse con el mismo círculo de siempre, sino que ir más allá y hablar con más personas y ver de qué manera puedes servir a los demás, ya sea si sos voluntario, si ofreces tu ayuda, incluso si estás en una iglesia puedes ofrecer tu ayuda, si estás en la escuela de tus hijos, puedes ir a la escuela de tus hijos y ver de qué manera puedes ayudar, nunca sabes de qué manera puedes servir a otros y eso también te ayuda a ti mismo a salir de la misma burbuja en la que a veces nosotros mismos nos metemos y no salimos.
Exacto. Bueno, hermosos mensajes. Muchísimas gracias, chicas. Well, at this moment, we're going to turn back to English. We're going to switch back to English. But you know, this is the beautiful thing that we do as women, or just as bilingual folks, right? We have that talent to just be going back and forth. But yeah, I know you had a little something to say before we close off.
Guys, all I can say is this: the power of voices, whether it is just yours or you sing in unison, it's harmony no matter what it is. And so the amount of work that you guys are putting towards this, your efforts, I mean, is it Juliette, 20 years old and you want to go into politics? Like, you're crazy. It's okay, but that's a good kind of crazy because you're here to make the world a better place. I have nothing but profound respect for you ladies. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be able to talk to you guys directly. You guys are going to make the world such a better place. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Gracias. And it's so funny. My ADHD is kicking in. Rocky, don't do the thing. You just kind of like move your hand slowly and then pull back slowly. Not that close. No. You guys, just so you know, in the back end here, she's like, my video is blurry. My video is blurry. And she's like doing this white thing. I'm like, girl, you're going to like mess it up. Like, just go gently and then come back. Or do what I do, subtly, go like this. I am so excited to be here. I love you. And everyone else can be like, oh my gosh, she's so excited. Anyway, that's some just video technique, kids. Anyway, you guys are amazing. I wish you guys nothing but success. Come up to Dallas, you guys. We could definitely use your help and support. I do know there's some great people up here. And I'm just going to brutalize your name, Jeremias. I mean, he's a huge advocate up here in Dallas for you guys too. So come in, or is it Hadamias, or is it? Yeah, he's a doctor. He's the one that's a teacher. So please, you guys. There's a lot of love and support. Just keep going. You have a community.
Oh my gosh. And yes, I think that there are so many ways that these amazing women can, cross collaborate, cross pollinate. There are so many opportunities that, giving back to the communities, to their own communities, but also impacting the world. I literally didn't have any chance to shout out some of the people who showed up today. Thank you so much, Chris, Yolanda, Randy. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you. Hello, my OG. It's just amazing.
I don't know if you want to give Randy love. I mean, when you read the comments, he keeps talking about this team of yours that he's slamming, girl. He's
doing goodness, words. Lord. Oh, okay.
Randy's doing fighting words.
Oh my goodness. We'll get to that soon. But ladies, again, thank you so much for coming and taking the time to share your stories and your why. And also, sharing some of the innovative ways that you are giving back to your communities and learning as we go through our journey. I know this is not the first time that we're going to hear from you. I know we're probably going to have like a follow-up. And when you're back home and seeing how these things that you've, implemented are going, I love following up. So thank you again for the opportunity. To everyone out there. Happy, literally, Hispanic Heritage Month. Celebrate with your Latino folks. Celebrate, support causes, do a little bit of research, but it doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much. You can make a difference even within just your own household, just your own community. The idea is just to start and be active. So Marcela, thank you. Juliette, thank you. And man, I admire you. I like, it's an honor to have you guys here. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the time you have here in Houston. I know we're gonna have a blast, but also busy. Okay, but thank you again. And guys, if you would like to connect with them, they're both on LinkedIn. Marcela, Lemus, Guinea. I will post all their socials there, and connect with them and see what they're working on. Any project that you would like to involve yourself and help out. I know we could all use it. All right, guys. Thank you again. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday, and happy Hispanic Heritage Month, guys. All right, bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Falling asleep with your neck in the wrong position can be a real pain in the neck. Literally. People of all ages are falling for Tossi. Tossi gives you the comfort you've always dreamed of. Go to TossiBrands.com and get your comfort on.
Thank you for joining. If you enjoyed today's show, please subscribe and follow us for the next episode.